Everybody's blasting this new war table, this Hawkeye war table, because it doesn't have in cloning labs, which is supposedly a mini raid, or any previews of the Wakanda raid. But look, here's the thing: this game is not even structurally designed to support a raid right now. As it is, it can't even run a raid as it is. So if they add a raid to this game in any form, they would have to restructure the way the strike team hierarchy is even made. Okay, how the menus work in strike team. There has to be a fire team leader. There has to be a strike team leader first of all. He has to be able to kick players out. The whole strike team has to be drop in, drop out. So the whole Claim Cloning Labs raid or Wakanda raid, it has to be drop in, drop out. The current structure of this game is if a player drops out and disconnects, he gets replaced with AI bot. An AI bot can't run a raid. Okay? That's useless. You might as well have nobody there. Because you need a human player to do a raid. Do it correctly. You have to coordinate, you have to communicate. And that means if you have a no mic, your ass is getting kicked out. If I'm strike team leader and I got somebody who's a no mic, he's getting kicked out right off the bat. No questions asked. Go AFK, you're getting kicked out. If you fuck up too many times and you're no good at the raid, you keep dying, we're going to kick you out. If you can't do the objectives correctly, you can get kicked out. So you need a kick option. So they have to have one person in charge to get things running properly. Otherwise, no raid is going to be able to run in this game. So that's how it goes. You can't have a voting system in a raid because idiots don't vote, just like people don't vote in the American elections. They're going to have people not voting when we need to kick somebody out who has a no mic or who sucks at the game, or they're not going to agree to kick it out. You have to have unanimous decision. So one person had to unilaterally decide who gets kicked out of the raid so it runs properly, so we can recruit somebody else who knows what they're doing or has a mic or not, who's not an asshole. There's several things that has to happen, and this game is not even set up for that. So that's why it's such a long way off from the game launching to having a raid yet. It doesn't have the game cloning lab yet because this game doesn't have the basic infrastructure. Yeah, basically, this game does not have the basic infrastructure to run a raid or a dungeon lair correctly. They're supposed to be working in multiplayer. That's why. So until they get that straightened out, there's going to have to be a massive patch or update that will fix this game to make it run correctly and effectively. Otherwise, it's just wasting your time. Yeah, so here we are. Hawkeye DLC War Table was awesome. It has a new biome, 4 new villain sectors, new costumes, and several of them look good. Several of them are must-buys. So far, I see at least 3 of those new Hawkeye costumes I'm going to buy. Okay? Or you spend my units on, my in-game currency on. So it's a good DLC, and best of all, has Maestro in it. People who don't know, man, some of these dumbass millennials, they don't really know. Peter David wrote the best run on the Hulk in the last 20 years. Okay, that Amadeus Cho crap is garbage. The Asian Hulk, that's garbage. Okay, it's junk. Make somebody else be the Hulk. You just ruin characters. They're making Thor a girl, but either way, be that as it may, needless to say, that's besides the point. What I'm saying is Peter David was a great writer in early 90s, and he revived the Hulk comic. The Hulk comic was stagnant for years and years. For like at least 10 years it was stagnant until Peter David started writing it. Or wrote some iconic stories. And he revitalized it, but because he rebooted the character and he made Hulk Joe Fixit as a mobster. And he was the Hulk with the intelligence of Banner, but his own personality. So he wasn't Professor Hulk, he was just Joe Fixit, basically. He was the Hulk, and he was half as strong, but super intelligent. And he had a terrible attitude. He's a surly attitude. It's a way better personality than either the regular Hulk or Bruce Banner. And Peter David wrote that comic, and he was like a good writer. He's like on par with Frank Miller. He was like a surly, snarky Frank Miller. Okay, it was the best run I ever seen on the Hulk, and after he left, I quit reading the comic. But so he made that version of the Hulk called Joe Fix-It, and he's like working for a guy named Baron Getty in Las Vegas, and he's kind of keeping a low profile. And that was the best run on the Hulk, probably in the last 50 years. Okay, before or after 50 years. Well, 20 years before or 20 years after, there hasn't been a better run on the Hulk since then. And he made Maestro. Maestro Hulk was like an evil version of Hulk, okay? And with his writing and that more edgy Hulk, it was way better. So the fact that they bring that version of Hulk into the game shows that Crystal Dynamics does know what they're doing, okay? If you want to pick out of any version of Hulk you want to bring into the game, that's probably the best version. I mean, the Joe Fix-It Hulk they already kind of brought into the game because they brought in the Joe Fix-It costume. That Hulk in the suit, that's Joe Fix-It's outfit. They even gave you the option to have him in gray uniform, gray skin, because that's how Joe Fix-It was. His skin was gray and he was half as strong, but he was way smarter in his own personality. And he only turned into Bruce Banner if he was in daylight. So this people just don't know. These dumb kids. Here's the thing: the people that are upset with Avengers, they're like these dumb little 13-year-olds who don't have a credit card. They're not old enough to have a credit card, so they're pissed that the game has microtransactions, and they can't afford to buy them. So they're just fucking pissed, and they're bitching about the game every second. It's a full AAA game. The single player is AAA. The games as a service part is free. And it's building up, but it's free anyway. And this DLC is awesome, and it's free. They gave you a new social space, Hawkeye's Brooklyn apartment. Gave you new costumes, new weapons, new supers, a new storyline, fully voice acted, and a new biome. And it's free. And several new costumes. The only thing that's not free is the costumes. But whatever, you can still earn the points to get those costumes. Have you played enough? So for people saying that, that's not good enough, and not going to bring me back, well, then come back, asshole. If you haven't come back now, then you're not going to come back anyway. And the game's not going to change. The core game is going to be the same. It's just with Hawkeye added. And you show how ignorant some people are. They're saying that Maestro's a reskin of the Hulk. He's not a reskin of the Hulk at all. All his moves are different. Okay, he's a charging uppercut. He jumps forward and stomps. He smashes the floor with both hands. Regular Hulk doesn't do that. Regular Hulk does that, but he doesn't do it like that. He does it with his gamma radiation coming off of him, and he does that mega super or whatever. He's only, and now that's not even that. That's the other one. It's totally different. It's totally different because when he does his R1 super, it looks different than that. Okay, and there's just a lot of gamma radiation on the screen. It clutters up the screen. You can't even tell what's going on half the time. Personally, I don't even play as the Hulk. I play or Thor. I play Thor a little bit, but I found Hulk as a player character not that great. He's way better at personality and making him be Maestro. That's like basically that's saving the character, is salvaging the Hulk character because the Hulk in the game needs the most work. The other characters are way better. Even Thor's better than Hulk. I would say in order: be Captain America, then Iron Man, Black Widow, Kate Bishop, and Kamala Khan is like dead last. Kamala Khan and Hulk are the worst characters in the game, and Thor is like one tier above them. Okay, so now they're bringing Hawkeye. Hawkeye's gonna be better than the Hulk. So they're saying, oh, why Hawkeye's not great? Hawkeye is great because Hawkeye's better than the goddamn Hulk, and so is Kate Bishop. And the fact that he shoots arrows, he has to shoot something. There's a gear system in this game for a reason. At least the gear system makes sense with Hawkeye because he'll pick up new arrows and new armor or new bows. It makes sense, okay? It doesn't make sense that you're picking up gear as the Hulk because the gear you pick up as a Hulk is like bone pieces and spinal cords. Like, where's he picking up these spinal cords? These bionic spinal cords laying around the ground. Who's leaving that around? And how would he even implement that? He go into surgery? Hulk doesn't need surgery. It doesn't make sense. The gear system doesn't make sense for the Hulk. Okay? Hulk just uses brute strength. So to have a character that has a weapon like Hawkeye and like Kate Bishop makes sense because that's what they use. They use technology, so you actually have gear. And not only that, the game is made to be a combination of ranged combat and close range combat. If a guy has bow and arrow, that has the range part covered, so they don't have to do any head scratching to figure out how they're gonna put ranged combat for this character. Because as good as Black Panther is gonna be, Black Panther doesn't throw darts. They're gonna make him throw little knives. He doesn't throw knives in the fucking comic book. Okay, he threw knives in that dumb Avengers show cartoon that Avengers Assemble because they needed to make him more interesting because he's just a brawler. Okay, so whatever. I mean, and here's the thing: these people are hating on this DLC. They're hating on the war table basically. They haven't played the DLC yet, so they know what they were talking about. So if people are hating on this war table just because they didn't show Black Panther, whatever. We already know Black Panther's coming. They showed the tease for Black Panther in October. He's not come out in this one. They hired people to make a polished video presenting the new Hawkeye DLC. Why are they gonna just steal their thunder and show Black Panther? Show Black Panther in combat when it's supposed to be showing Hawkeye. That's gonna totally confuse people. Like, wait, where's Black Panther when they get the Hawkeye DLC? Hey, where's the Black Panther part? You're not playing Black Panther right now. You're playing Black Panther in June. Okay, it's not coming out to June. It's gonna be 3 months after this one comes out in March. 3 months later, we'll get Black Panther. Calm the hell down. And if possible, we'll get Black Panther and Spider-Man at the same time. And it's free. That's another thing. I don't know what people are complaining about. It's freaking free. And here's the thing. They might have to bring out Spider-Man and Black Panther at the same time because if they don't, then Xbox and PC players can be 3 months behind everybody else. Cause see, they're gonna have a 3 month drought, a 6 month drought. Because like after 3 months, if they waited after Black Panther and waited 3 months to bring out Spider-Man, so that whole 3 months, PC and Xbox players get nothing, and PlayStation players get Spider-Man. Then another 3 months after that, then they're gonna bring out Captain Marvel or whoever. They can't do that. There would be 6 months of nothing on both Xbox and PC. So to remedy it, they would have to just drop Spider-Man free. They would have to drop Spider-Man free and early. And most notably, it would have to be the same time as freaking Black Panther to make it make sense. So it's a bonus. So people should be patient because most likely you can get Spider-Man, or at least PlayStation players. So smart people like me who actually got a PlayStation 5 and played on PlayStation 4 Pro in the first place are going to have both Spider-Man and Black Panther most likely in June. They would have to. Now, as far as the DLC, it looks good. I haven't seen all of it. The story is great. The story build up from Kate Bishop's story was great. So it built up the tension and suspense. I can't wait to play this next DLC. And in the meantime, I can just earn credits in the regular game. I can still earn more credits to just buy the costume. So I can start working on Kate Bishop's challenge card. I never even worked on Kate Bishop's challenge card. And also Black Widows and Hulks and Thors. I didn't finish any of the challenge cards. The only challenge cards I finished was Captain America's. And I made some headway on Iron Man's, but they're not by no means finished. I may be like 3/4 way through Iron Man's and not even halfway through Thor's and Black Widows. Black Widows I have at 120, and I have two 150 characters, Iron Man and Captain America. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll 100 Hawkeye. He looks like a fun character. He has like 10 different arrows. How could you not want to play that character? And he's a better costume. He has better costumes. He has a Ronin costume off the bat. They gave you the Ronin costume off the bat so people don't start whining about it. It's like Crimea River. And you can't really take all these people's complaints that seriously, especially the people that make YouTube videos, because some of them don't even play the game. They just make clickbait videos to complain about Avengers. They want to complain about something just to have the view count boosted up. They don't give a shit about the game. They don't play it. That asshole Sayel, he doesn't play that game. He made 3 videos so far about a game he doesn't even play. About this one war table. He made 3 videos on it. And he's just like a broken record. He says the same shit over and over again. Dude looks like a damn child molester. Obviously he's making his videos from his basement. He's like in a dark room in his basement of his huge bald spot wearing glasses. Look at freaking nature. And he's most likely the guy who doxed the devs with Crystal Dynamics just because they didn't release any information, or just to harass them because they banned them off of the Reddit, the Avengers Reddit. So anyway, here's what I'm saying. This game is good. If you like the game as it is, you're gonna like this DLC. If you haven't played the game in months or whatever, just stay away because you're not gonna get back into it now. It's too late now. You're way behind. Okay, and it's gonna be basically the same game it's always been, just with Hawkeye added to it and new missions for Hawkeye. And here's the thing, and that's the same thing with Black Panther. Because watch, here I'm calling it now. When Black Panther comes out, these people who are complaining about the game now, they're gonna be complaining about the game when Black Panther gets released. They'll say, "Oh well, he looks like a reskin." Oh, you're fighting aimbots, and don't get shocked when you fight aimbots, because Claw is gonna be the main enemy, the main boss for Black Panther raid. But Claw is working for AIM, so don't get shocked. Oh my God, robots! Of course, it's gonna be robots. There's been robots in the whole game. That's what they spent years with dev time working on. The robots and the aimbots and the hoverbots and the drones. They spent millions of development dollars developing those characters. Not gonna just throw them away. Why would they throw them away? And into free DLC. So how do you expect to get a whole new spate of enemies when they took them 3 or 4 years to make this spate of enemies? It's not happening. You have a varied amount of enemy types within AIM, and that's what it's going to be. They may add more varied types, but they're still going to be within AIM because that's the overall storyline, and that's what it's going to be. Until there's a new storyline, when Avengers 2, or either Avengers 2 or a paid expansion is the only way we're getting new enemies. So deal with it. And it's free, so I don't know what you're saying, okay? Go beg some other developer to give some more free DLC, better free DLC than this. And you know what it is? This game is like beyond some people. It's a great game, but it's like this. It's too much game for some of these scrubby gamers. Okay, these scrubby, brain dead gamers that don't read. That's why they stopped printing game instructions, because these idiot gamers don't even read them. Here's the thing: the game, each of those characters has at least 20 moves. They have 3 pages worth of skill books. Okay, for the skill trees, it's 3 pages for the skill trees and leveling it up and modifying it. These idiots don't understand it. And it's so many moves and so many intricate moves. You have to take forever to learn all of them, or to learn how to use them effectively. Because let's take Iron Man for example. He can do a loop de loop and do a missile strafing run when he's in missile mode. Then and when he's his reversal, he can do reversal with his lasers. He does a totally different animation. He's like 3 separate characters depending on what weapon loadout he's using. If he's using repulsors, lasers, or missiles, he does totally different animations with them. It's like 3 different characters. Plus, he has Hulkbuster. They went overboard with this game, and people don't really appreciate it because they're too dumb to learn how to play it. I mean, because you can set up the Hulkbuster to shoot a repulsor or a unibeam, or you can set up the Hulkbuster to shoot a missile barrage like Robotech. It's way over what they needed to do for this game, and people don't appreciate it. Because he can also shoot a fist off like a Shogun Warrior, his rocket fist. Come on, man. They did so much to this game, and people don't really appreciate it. They'll make the raid eventually. They're working on it. They just released a patch today. This is February 18th. They just released a new patch for the game. So they're patching the multiplayer. And I think that's going to stealth drop the AIM Cloning Labs. It's just going to stealth drop between now and when Hawkeye comes out. It has to. Because why are they making all these patches? And you notice the patch notes, they're all working on multiplayer focus. And the reason why AIM Cloning Labs was delayed because it crashes on multiplayer for PS4 players, and the people with the old school 2013 PS4 consoles it crashes on. Because this game was forward thinking, okay? They made this game the last 10 years. So they really made it to work on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And now the PlayStation 5 patch is coming out on March 18th. That's going to have haptic feedback and way better graphics. So they're going to leave the PlayStation 4 in the dust. So when that comes out, then we're going to get Cloning Labs, okay? And the Black Panther raid will be like 3 months away from then. So I give this DLC War Table A+. It focuses on what it's going to be focused on. Because here's the thing: what are people gonna do? They're gonna complain about the Black Panther DLC because it doesn't show Captain Marvel. And where's the Captain Marvel tease? Just focus on what the War Table is about. Nobody said anything about Black Panther being in this War Table. They said Hawkeye's gonna be in the War Table. So why are you bitching about Black Panther? And Black Panther is just a brawler anyway. Okay. So I don't know what you're complaining about, because when Black Panther does come out, people are going to complain and say he's just a reskin Captain America, because all he is a brawler. Okay, it's good that he has representation, African Americans and everything, but as a character, he's just a brawler. Okay, he's basically a super soldier, but he super soldier by a different means. Okay, the heart shade herb gave me his powers, but either way, he's just super strong and he fights. He's cool. Wakanda's cool, but let's not over exaggerate it, because then when he actually comes out, the haters are just gonna hate on it and just gonna backpedal and they go, "Oh, give us something else, give us something else," and they're just freaking parasites because it's free and people are just entitled. Okay, they're entitled brats and they just want to complain. They want more. No matter how much free stuff you give them, they're gonna want more free stuff and they're gonna want it right away, which is ridiculous. It takes time to program all this.